palm oil industry is commonly disregarded even though it is one of the most destructive. This oil is used in pretty much everything such as food, detergents, cosmetics, and biofuel. Palm oil plantations can be found in tropical places such as in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. In the United States, more than 50% of our packaged items contain palm oil. Businesses in the U.S. buy from and own many palm oil plantations in Southeast Asia. For instance, Cargill, the biggest privately owned business in the United States, owns 5 palm oil plantations in Indonesia. There are many devastating problems that occur because of palm oil. One of the biggest is the destruction of habitat. Rainforests are bulldozed or torched, which causes human-animal conflict, indigenous people losing their homes, and the loss of endangered species. The Sumatran tiger, the Borneo elephant, and the orangutan are being pushed closer to extinction because of the loss of their home. Furthermore, the palm oil industry causes air and water pollution. This industry therefore impacts climate change, shown by the fact that Indonesia surpassed the United States in 2015 for its greenhouse gas emissions. Finally, human health is impacted because palm oil products contain fatty acid esters that damage DNA and cause cancer.
Economically, it's hard to find a middle ground between harvesting palm oil and having economic wealth versus corroding the health of the environment. It's a tough choice for anyone to make. Maybe we don't have to make it at all. To really make a difference on a larger scale, we need legislative changes. A tax on palm oil goods has the potential to solve the problem at its roots. We can use a tax to deter customers away from palm oil and even subsidize alternative products that can be produced locally, like cottonseed oil. But most importantly, we should use the funds from a tax on palm oil to provide for the retraining of people in the industry for jobs that are more ecologically sustainable.
If we are to expect changes in the way palm oil is integrated into our society, we need to make changes as individuals and consumers. How many of you actually know what palm seeds look like? It's easy as a consumer to become disconnected from the impacts of our purchases because our communities and environment are usually not directly affected. It will take extensive education and outreach before individuals can appreciate the ethical issues associated with product purchase. Consumers can reduce their palm oil use by not purchasing products containing palm oil, buying locally, supporting companies that abide by eco-conscious practices, or looking for eco-labels that feature quote-unquote sustainable palm oil. It is important as a consumer to know that your money has power. Use that power to support industry values that are in line with your own.
In initiating our plans and our One Health approach, we are likely to come across some roadblocks along the way. With implementing a national tax on palm oil goods, we might come across producer upset, which could be solved through the subsidy for using alternative goods. We also may encounter consumer upset, which could be solved through further educating people about the issues concerning the palm oil industry and keeping product prices low with the government subsidy. The farmers that have their livelihoods depending on the profit of their farms could also be affected, so we plan on creating wildlife sanctuaries in these countries to replace these farms. These sanctuaries would be supported by the Wildlife Fund created in the U.S. and through ecotourism and would employ most of the farm workers. Another roadblock is during educational outreach concerning misinformation about facets of the palm oil industry. There is distorted representation about the quote-unquote sustainable palm oil company Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil, also known as RSPO, which claims that companies with their certification don't further deforest any regions, while this hasn't shown to be true. We would solve this misrepresentation through informing people that RSPO doesn't have a strong enough enforcement and that supporting RSPO isn't a strong enough step in the fight against palm oil.
Educating the public and using a social media platform are two very crucial steps for decreasing the use of palm oil in the United States. Social media is an outlet that will allow one message to reach thousands of people, from community members to policymakers. Through social media, protests, petitions, and polls can easily be performed and used for an education on palm oil. Education can also be done through youth community programs, television advertisements, and informational sheets at retail stores. There are several easy ways to decrease the use of palm oil, just by reading product labels and buying local. Since palm oil is disguised by so many other names, the Orangutan app makes life so easy. Just scan your product and it will quickly tell you if palm oil is in the product or not. Since palm oil is in so many products, just changing one to a palm oil-free option will aid in saving the orangutans, forests, and humans.